The narcissist's return is as predictable as gravity itself, driven by psychological forces that operate beyond their conscious control. Their departure was never about moving forward. It was about creating distance from the mirror their victim held up to their fractured soul. Yet this same mirror becomes an irresistible beacon that draws them back with magnetic inevitability. The very person they fled from represents both their greatest threat and their most essential lifeline, the addiction to their own reflection. The narcissist doesn't love in the conventional sense. They become addicted to how they appear through another's eyes. Their victim once provided the perfect reflection, seeing past their flaws and loving them despite their darkness. This experience becomes intoxicating precisely because it contradicts their deepest fear, that they are fundamentally unlovable. The victim's genuine affection created a psychological drug more potent than any external validation. When they leave, they carry an invisible withdrawal that intensifies with time. New sources of supply feel shallow and temporary because fresh admirers only see the carefully crafted facade. But their original victim witnessed their vulnerable moments, their fears, their humanity, and still chose to love them. This creates an irreplaceable psychological imprint that no subsequent relationship can duplicate. The narcissist discovers that superficial admiration from strangers cannot fill the specific void their victim once occupied. They experience a haunting emptiness where authentic connection once resided, driving them to seek that exact frequency of love again. The return isn't motivated by genuine remorse, but by a desperate need to recapture that intoxicating feeling of being truly seen and accepted. The terror of genuine intimacy lost. Beneath their grandiose exterior lies a profound fear of abandonment that predates their victim entirely. This fear drives them to sabotage relationships before others can reject them, creating a cycle of preemptive destruction. Yet their victim somehow penetrated these defenses, offering intimacy without demands for perfection. This terrifies and mesmerizes them simultaneously. The narcissist realizes they destroyed something irreplaceable, not just a relationship, but perhaps their only opportunity to experience authentic love. This recognition creates a desperate urgency that intensifies during their lowest moments. They begin to idealize what they lost, conveniently forgetting the pain they inflicted while romanticizing the connection they sabotaged. Their subsequent relationships feel hollow because they're constantly comparing new partners to the victim who once loved them unconditionally. They discover that their capacity for connection was entirely dependent on their victim's ability to see through their masks. Without that unique dynamic, they're left performing for audiences who can never truly know them. The illusion of redemption through return. The narcissist constructs elaborate fantasies about their return, imagining they can recapture their victim's love without confronting their own destructive patterns. They believe their mere presence will reignite the devotion they once received, failing to understand that their victim's love was earned through consistent behavior, not granted as an entitlement. Their return represents a fundamental misunderstanding of love itself. They approach their victim like a drug dealer returning to their most reliable customer, expecting the same transaction that once sustained them. The narcissist cannot comprehend that their victim's feelings may have evolved, that love cannot be switched on and off at their convenience. This delusion becomes increasingly desperate as reality contradicts their expectations. Their victim may have healed, grown stronger, or simply moved beyond the person they once were. The narcissist discovers they're attempting to recreate a dynamic that existed in a different time, with a different version of both people. The narcissist always comes back because they mistake dependency for love, possession for connection, and history for destiny. They return not to love again, but to reclaim what they believed was permanently theirs, never realizing that authentic love cannot be owned, only earned.